no sukkah, no nothing. If they have proper schach. She's saying, because sukkah, there has to be a living place. So if you can make a sukkah there, there has to be a temple, your house. I mean, everything you do, the more you treat it like your house, the more mitzvah you got. Okay, we are on Yud Beis of an Aleph of 12a. We are on the Art Scroll 12a 5. No, 12a 4. I'm sorry, 12a 4. Really, to be exact, it's the bottom of 12a3. Rotzeach sheyotza chutz l'tchum. Rotzeach that leaves outside the tchum. The Mishnah spoke about the guy committed a murder, and he leaves the Ori Miklat. He came to the Ori Miklat. He already was there, and he leaves.
He went out for a stroll.
He went for a stroll, right? He went for a stroll. He went out. So what's the law? Does the Gol Hadam have a right to kill him? Mitzvah to kill him? What's everybody's right? So we had a machlokes to the Mishnah. The Mishnah says two opinions. That Rav Yosef Glili says there's a mitzvah in the hands of the Gol Hadam to actually kill this person. There's a mitzvah. This person is violating his terms. This person killed someone unintentionally. He needs to be in the Ori Miklat because, as we said, he could have been more careful. The murder did not have to happen. And he needs to be in the Ori Miklat. He needs to be in the city of refuge. If he leaves the city of refuge, he is putting his life in danger because the relative has a right to go ahead and kill him. Not only a right, Yosef Glili says a mitzvah. And maybe the reason why it's a mitzvah is because this person, in a certain sense, because of the sin that he did, that he wasn't as careful, which caused the murder. So therefore he's deserving. If he doesn't follow the terms of kapara that he needs, then he's deserving to be killed for killing someone else. Perhaps that could be the reason behind Rabbi Yossi's understanding of why there's a mitzvah. Or we could say that the mitzvah is to ensure that he will remain in Ori Miklat. And therefore, if the Rotzeach knows that if he leaves the Ori Miklat, there's a mitzvah, there's a commandment on someone else to kill the person. So therefore, he's going to be extra careful not to leave. It's more of a deterrent. Good morning, Mike. That's the opinion of Yosef Glili. And Yosef Glili says, what about everybody else? Yosef Glili says, Rishut Kol Adam. Everybody else is not the Gol Hadam. Gol Hadam is the close relative, but everyone else is not the Gol Hadam. They have a right to kill the person, but not no mitzvah. The Torah doesn't command them, doesn't give everybody the obligation to kill him. But the Torah gives everyone a right. And also that could also serve as a deterrent, that the Rotzeach is not going to want to leave the Ori Miklat, because if he says, you know what, I know the family, nobody could get me. I could outsmart, I could get out, I want. But if everybody has the ability to kill him, there's no way that he could run away from everybody. Therefore, maybe that could be the reason why everyone has the right to kill him. Rabbi Akiva says no. Rabbi Akiva says the Gol Hadam does not have a mitzvah. The Gol Hadam has a right, a reshut to kill him. But everybody, however, everybody else, if they would go ahead and kill him, they're forbidden to kill him. But there's two different texts in the Mishnah. Would they get killed if they kill him, or they wouldn't get killed, but it's forbidden? Those are two different opinions in the Girsah, the Mishnah, in Rabbi Akiva. And that's the halacha that the Gol Hadam does not have a mitzvah, or only has a right to kill him.
And
everyone else does not have a right to kill him. Whether they'll get killed for it or not, You have to look up the Vilna Gaon has the text, they will not get killed. The most Rishonim say they will not get killed. The people who, if everybody else kills the Goa, kills the Rotzeach. Okay.
Even for his father's burial, I think he can't go out.
Right, he can't go. Right, the Rotzeach is stuck in the Ori Miklat. Can't go out. There's nothing really that we allow him to go out for. The Mishnah did not give us an allowance pretty much for anything for him to leave. The way he'll leave, the Kohen Gadol passed away, that's the way he'll leave. So the Gemara says, here we'll read it inside the Gemara. But Rotzeach left the Tchum. Torah Rotzach Goel Hadam es Rotzeach. The Pasuk says, now here we have the Breita. The Goel Hadam is quoted in the Pasuk, and the Goel Hadam kills the Rotzeach, and he kills. So the language Virotzach, and he kills. Rashi explains, you could explain it as a tzivui, Virotzach. That's what you need to do, or you could explain it as a right to do, not that he's obligated to do. And the opinion of the first opinion of Rabbi Yosef Lili is Virotzach. He understands it means as a mitzvah. Virotzach Goel Hadam es Rotzeach. Mitzvah biyad Goel Hadam. There's a mitzvah in the hand of the Goel Hadam to go ahead and kill him. Ein Goel Hadam. If there's no Goel Hadam, so then if there's no Goel Hadam, then it's Rishut Biyad Kol Adam. Then everybody has the right to kill him. The very Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Kiva Omer, Rabbi Kiva says, Rishut Biyad Goel Hadam. The right is in the hand of the Goel Hadam. He doesn't have a mitzvah, he has the right. The Chol Adam and everybody else, so the text of the Gemara is Machayavim alav. The text is everybody will be chayav. Everybody, if they kill the Rotzeach, will be killed for killing the Rotzeach. And the Vilna Gaon says that's the text. Our Gemara is based on the Maharshal's text, but most Rishonim say they will not get killed for killing the Rotzeach. Most Rishonim say that even though they have no right to kill the Rotzeach, nobody has a right to kill him. But if they go ahead and they kill him, they will not get killed for it.
Yeah, that's his chayav.
We're chayav and alav. Chol Adam chayav and alav. You mean? Right. So look at the Vilna Gaon on the right side. Hagos Hagra. You have Hagos Hagra? I don't know if in your text on the right side. The Vilna Gaon says the proper text that you need to say is V'chol Adam ein chayav alav. Every person is not chayav for killing him. Meaning that when you say not chayav, does not mean they're mutar. Doesn't mean you're allowed to. It just means that if they went ahead and they did it, they don't get killed.
Just because Hadam could do it, has an issue. Everybody else hands off.
I mean, keep everyone else hands off. But now the question is the fact that hands are off, does that mean that if they went ahead and they killed them, good morning, Mr. Makkos, does that mean if they went ahead and they killed them, they get killed for it or not? The fact that hands off, that no one else has a right. When you don't have a right to do something, does that mean that the person will get killed for doing it? Or, I'll give you an example. We have a halacha gorem grama ben izakin is as patur vel asor. There's certain things in life. Good morning. It's so good that Mike is back. Good morning, Rabbi. It's our honor to have Mike back. Ariel is here. Baruch Hashem. Yes, this is the first spot that we were in. I mean, we could take a Gemara too if you want.
It seems so much we're gonna talk.
No,
So we were discussing the idea, we have certain type of halachot that something could be forbidden, but you might not be, but even if it's forbidden, it doesn't mean you're always obligated. Forbidden means you're not allowed to do something. There's certain things in halacha that I'm not allowed to do, but if I do it, there might not be ramifications, financial ramifications, or other ramifications. For instance, I'm not allowed to, let's say you have a door, and you have a door, you close your doors, that keeps your animals in place. Your animals don't leave because you have a door, you have a gate. What happens if I open your gate? And as a result of me opening a gate, your animals go out, the animals get lost. So there's an interesting halacha. The halacha is, you did not actually take the animals with your hands and make the animals get lost. You did an action that caused the animals to get lost. You didn't shoot the animals. You didn't directly damage animals. You caused the damage by opening the gate. Now that the animals get lost. So what's the halacha? And then as a result of that, the animals get hurt. The halacha says the court does not obligate you money because you did not directly damage. You what? You indirectly cause the damage. It's intentional, but it's called grama minizakin. It's patur avalasu. You're not obligated to money for that, but you did a very big sin because you caused the loss someone. So even though it's called patur b'dinei adam v'chayab b'dinei shemayim, heaven will punish. Some things the court down here doesn't punish. Sometimes there are certain things in life.
Someone's cow, someone's bull kill, someone else's bull.
They're responsible because you actually did direct your animal, but you're responsible to watch your animal. But here, but here, even though you're responsible to watch your actions, it wasn't your animal that did the damage. Your friend's animal got hurt indirectly as a result of you. So I'm just showing the concept that you can have somebody doing something wrong, but not always is the court punished. So the same thing over here. The Gemara is discussing what's not fair. What the guy gets away with not paying for, what's not fair? Nobody gets away with anything. Don't worry. God will take care of it. Who did the sin? But the guy is losing out. Okay, so Hashem will have to give him back. That's all. So the guy, we're discussing the Gemara. If a guy leaves the exile, right? The murderer who killed unintentionally, he left exile. He stepped out. He was supposed to stay in there. He's not allowed to leave. He left. Now the Goel Hadam, the close relative, there's two opinions in the Mishnah. One opinion says the close relative that has a mitzvah to kill him, and one opinion says he has just a right to kill him. And now the question is, what about someone else who's not the Goel Hadam? Someone who's not the relative. So one opinion says if you're not the relative, you have a right to kill him. The opinion that says that the Goel Hadam has a mitzvah to kill him, he says everyone else is one notch low. The relative has a mitzvah. Everybody else has a right. Not a mitzvah, a right. You have a right to do a lot of things in life. Might not be a mitzvah to do that. You have a right to go have a coffee. Doesn't mean you have a mitzvah to have a coffee. Maybe it gives you strength to learn Torah. Maybe it may turn it into a mitzvah. But if you hold, the Goel Hadam has a mitzvah to kill, everyone else has a right to kill. If you hold the Goel Hadam has no mitzvah, he has a right to kill, then everyone else does not have a right to kill. This Rotzeach. Now, the question is, if they don't have a right to kill the Rotzeach, if they went ahead and they killed the Rotzeach, the question, that's the question we've been dealing with at this point. According to the opinion that says the Torah does not give a mitzvah, or Rabbi Akiva says the Torah does not give a mitzvah for the relative to kill the Rotzeach. There's no mitzvah. There's a right. If he wants to kill, but say it again. He has a right in this. He has a right in this world to kill the Rotzeach. Will he be punished if he has it? It's a good question. If the Torah gives him a right to do it, then he might not be doing anything wrong. We do find what you're saying is a Yifat Torah. If someone goes to war and he finds a beautiful woman, the Torah gives him an allowance, but he's doing a bad thing. Because there the Torah gives him an allowance, because if you wouldn't give him an allowance to do it, he's going to do it anyways. So it's a good question over here. Would we say that there's some criticism for the Gol Hadam? If Torah gives him just an allowance to do it, would we say, but still, we gave you an allowance, but doesn't mean you still should try not to do it? That's a good point. Now, here is the question. Everybody else, according to that opinion, said everyone else does not have a right to kill him. But what about if they went in and they killed him? Would they get killed for killing him? Or would they be, or they would not get killed for killing the Rotzeach?
Why would they get involved?
So Mike is saying, why are they getting involved? It's not their problem. The Torah didn't give them a right, and they're not allowed to. So if they did it, they should get killed for it. That's the Marshal's text. But the Vilna Gaon says most Rishonim disagree. They say that even though they don't have a right to do it, they're not going to get killed for it. And what could be the reason for that? The reason could be that is the fact that the fact that the Gol Hadam has a right to kill him. That means this guy's blood is not, you're not killing somebody that's really 100% like everybody else. Good morning.
But his intention was intentional. Not intentional.
Who's intentional?
No, the Rotzeach is intentional.
Yeah, the Rotzeach, the guy who committed the murder. Good morning.
About the strangers are killing the Rotzeach.
Right, so the stranger killed the Rotzeach. It's true that they're a stranger, but the fact that the Torah gives the relative, the Gol Hadam, the right to kill the murderer, so it doesn't mean that everyone else has a right to kill the murderer. Rabbi Kiva says nobody has the right to kill the murderer, but the Gol Hadam is a right. But the fact that his blood is considered already allowed to be shed, allowed to be killed by the relative, perhaps that could be the reason why that even if everybody else has no right to kill, but if they went ahead and they did it, the Torah is not going to obligate death for anybody. We welcome you for joining the class. What's your name? Daniel, thank you for joining. The Torah is not going to obligate death for murdering such an individual. That could be the rationale behind that opinion. Behind that opinion. So we have different opinions in the Gemara regarding, is the Gol Hadam have a mitzvah to kill, or the Gol Hadam has a right to kill? And based on that opinion, whether they have a mitzvah or right, then you'll have a question about the next level about everybody else. So now the Gemara says, my time with Rabbi Yosef Glili. The Gemara wants to understand what is the reason for Rabbi Yosef Glili that he says there's actually a mitzvah for the relative to go ahead and the Gol Hadam to kill the Rotzeach if he leaves the exile. My time. He says, Mi ksiv. Does it say in the pasuk im Rotzach? Does the pasuk say if the Gol Hadam kills, he's not responsible? No, it doesn't say if he kills. It says virotzach. The pasuk says, and the Gol Hadam goes ahead and he kills. The Torah says he's not obligated if he kills. He didn't cause blood shed. The Torah says, when the Torah tells us and talks to us, it tells us about the Gol Hadam killing the Rotzeach, who leaves the Ori Miklat, the language of the Torah is virotzach. and he kills him. So how do you translate the word viratzach, and he kills him? Doesn't mean any viratzach, it's a and he kills him. That's what he's supposed to do. Is that what the Torah is commanding us? Or viratzach means after the fact. If he went ahead and he did it, then he's fine. So that's the question. So Rabbi Yosef Lina says, if the pasuk means to say he has a right to kill him, so when you have something that's called a reshut, a right, so many times the Torah uses the word im, if, like the Hoya im shamoat tishmu, if you listen to the Torah mitzvot, then you get a bracha. The Torah, the word there im is not coming to tell you a commandment. We already told you have to keep the Torah mitzvot. The Torah is telling you, if you can keep the Torah mitzvot, then you get reward. So im generally means if. There are some exceptions to the rule, but im means if. So if the Torah means to say here, the Goel Hadam has a right to kill him, not an obligation. So what should the word the Torah should have said? Im. If you kill him, you didn't cause bloodshed. You had a right. You're fine. It doesn't use the word im. It doesn't say if you kill him, you're off the hook. It says and you kill him, which seems to indicate this is what you're supposed to do. So that's the reason for Rabbi Yosef Lili. V'ratzach. Ratzach, he understands, is telling us, you hear that, Mike? And he kills him. That's what you got to do. V'ratzach miksiv im. However, Rabbi Akiva says miksiv yirtzach. If it's referring to that's what you're supposed to do, so the tense that you would use, the way you would say it is yirtzach. Yirtzach kol adam. He shall kill him in the future tense. The pasuk should say, and the Goel Hadam will kill him. Pasuk should say, if the Goel Hadam finds the guy outside the city, Yitzach, he shall kill him. Yitzach, he shall. In the future, what you're supposed to do, present and future. But the fact that it says, and he killed him, sounds like it's not that the Torah is commanding you to kill him, and he killed him. The relative killed him, ein lo dam. He didn't kill a man of blood. It's not bloodshed. It's not that he took someone's blood, because that guy's blood was deserving to be killed. So each rabbi is looking at the language of the pasuk, and based on the way the Torah wrote it, they understand what the Torah, what is the meaning, what is the pasuk coming to say. So that's the machloket in the Gemara. Ama Mazutra Bartuvia, Ama Rav. Now we're going to have a third opinion on this matter. Listen to this opinion. If the murderer, the guy who killed unintentionally, left the Uri Miklat, Umatzol Goel Hadam, and the relative finds him, and if the relative, the Goel Hadam, kills him, the Goel Hadam gets killed for killing the Rotzech. Here's a new opinion that we never had before, that the Torah never gives a right for the Goel Hadam, the relative, to kill the Rotzech, because like we always saw, at the end of the day, it was an unintentional murder. He killed unintentionally. So even if he left the Uri Miklat, what will be the law? You have no right. You have no right to kill him. What do you say?
That's what this opinion is saying.
Right.
the Kohen Gadol, that would be it, right?
Right.
Because the Kohen Gadol
Was a vow, could have prayed.
prayed, so you can assume that because of this, the Kohen Gadol is kind of
Connected to the death.
But
Right.
it is
Murder.
responsible, it's not the Lord's side, the Kohen Gadol, the Kohen Gadol is responsible, therefore, it's not the Lord's side is not technically the person.
That's beautiful. You know what Ariel says? Beautiful chidush. Ariel explains why the Goldam should not have a right to kill him. Because really, we said the Kohen Gadol should have prayed for that the murder, that unintentional murder should not have taken place. So therefore, there's someone else who's really responsible, could have prevented the death. So therefore, he's not totally responsible in a certain sense, because there was someone else that could have prevented it. So therefore, you have no right to kill him, because he's not totally. We're not going to look at this guy as the total responsibility on his hands. Beautiful chidush. So Mr. Safdie is asking, how do we understand this opinion? We said the pasuk says that he kills him. Ein Ladam, the Gol Adam kills him. The Gol Adam it did not cause bloodshed. So how could this opinion say that if the guy leaves Arim Miklat, that the Gol Adam, the relative, would get killed for killing him? Because he understands when the Torah says that the Gol Adam kills him, that's talking after there was a judgment of the court. If the judgment of the court says that the guy was a murderer, the guy was intentionally murdered, an intentional murder, that's the case that the Gol Adam, the relative, would kill. But if it was an unintentional, that's when you say, who's going to give it over? Who's going to kill the guy? If it was an intentional murder, the court went ahead and judged, and they said it was an intentional murder. Therefore, then who's going to be the executioner for such a case? The executioner will be the Gol Adam, but the relative. But if it's not an intentional murder, the Gol Adam has no right to go ahead and kill him. And if the guy leaves the city of refuge, we will tell the Gol Adam, if you touch him, if you kill him, we're going to kill you, the Gol Adam. If you go ahead and you kill him. That's the new opinion here. He's not allowed. Not only is not allowed to kill him, if he kills him for leaving, what happened? He left the city of refuge. He killed unintentionally. He left the city, but doesn't mean you can't kill him. He's not deserving of death. He's deserving to remain in Ari Miklat. He didn't. Who's deserving of death? Someone who caused an intentional murder. This is an unintentional murder. So he violated the sentencing. He was supposed to stay in jail in Ari Miklat. That doesn't mean that he's worthy of death, because he left and he violated the terms of his obligation to stay in Ari Miklat. Doesn't mean he's obligated death. That's the opinion here in the Gemara. Okay, we're going to get ready we'll continue tomorrow to begin the day. Thank you for joining. Danny, we have 6:15 every day because of Slichot, usually 6:45. You're cordially invited. And we'll give you even a seat at the table, same price.
Rabbi, should we put this here?
Yeah, if you put it underneath, if you don't mind, Ariel.
Oh, yeah, keep it.